Hey everyone. I was going to do a quick rundown of my thoughts on the Kindle Scribe, the new Kindle Scribe. I think it's the 2024 version. I got the 64 gig one versus what I ended up going with instead, which was the Galaxy Tab. So, first purchased the Kindle Scribe and did some testing with it to do some note taking and whatnot. Because I do like taking notes with a pen or pencil handwritten notes, and I do really like the screen on the Scribe and the way the pen feels. It really feels fantastic. I mean, it really feels like you're writing on uh, paper. The pen itself feels really good. The tip is really nice. The surface on the Kindle's really nice. Palm rejection is fantastic, and the back feels like a rubber eraser when you're erasing. The it feels like you're using an actual eraser, and does a really good job erasing. And when you're erasing an object, it doesn't erase the entire object. It erases the section that you actually erase. Right. So these are some differences between the note taking that I do on this device and what I'm able to do on the tab, which we'll show in just a second. Um, got some decent settings in here. Not a lot though. It's pretty limited in terms of what you can do um, with the device. The notebooks function, just allows you to take notes. You can put them in folders and such to keep them organized within the notebooks. And then of course you have your normal Kindle library. Now, one of the things I noticed in the Kindle library um, is I have certain Kindle books that it will not download. So there's certain Kindle items that I've purchased over time. I was trying to see if I could find one of them. There's a couple that I purchased that it will not let me download. It says they're not compatible with the device, and I'd run into this with previous like Kindle Paperwhites and things like that. Um, don't recall which ones it was. I may run across them when we're taking a look at the tab. But also, just scrolling through the device and whatnot, you can kind of see um, how that you know feels. It's not like a super smooth scrolling and whatnot. But again, do like the display. Do love the way the pen feels. The pen on the screen feels really good. It rejects or seems to reject fingerprints. So the screen always just seems to look really nice. Uh, Again, the handwriting is fantastic. Love the way the eraser works. All of that's really good. Well, I love the way the eraser works in some instances, and in others, I really prefer the way the tab works. So, oh, one other thing I wanted to show that I thought was kind of interesting. Whoops, this was another problem that was bad that you just saw. Uh, there's no way to disable the orientation, or there's no way to enable an orientation lock, right? So you you get into this situation where because you're taking notes on a flat surface, and if it gets bumped or whatnot, um, you can, or just even if you're holding it, you can end up with it flipping, and there really should be a way to lock that. You can take a note in uh, on the screen. So when you're on a on a book, you can take a note in the book. Oh, I don't even remember how to do it now. There was a way to add notes to the book. Maybe it only works on certain ones. The book I was in earlier, it allowed me to take notes on it, and I could do like highlighter functions and things like that. Again, these are some of the things that I found a little frustrating with the Kindle. It wasn't really clear when I can do something, when I can't do something. There's a like a notes section uh, that you can add notes to a book, and they'll kind of pop up at the bottom, um, things like that. But again, love the handwriting. The screen's really neat, but for the money, I ended up actually going with Galaxy Tab um, S9 FE, and I got a case for it, a little folio case, and I got a paper, like a matte paper-like screen protector for it that drops the glare down a bit and makes it feel really nice. And with that, I also got a titanium replacement nib for the pen. See it there? Because they said the rubber ones that come with it, the matte screen protectors will grind it down. I'd say this though, just the default stock nib that comes on them with the screen without the protector on it feels really good. I mean, like really, really good. Um, but I do kind of like the anti-glare, and I also like um, just the kind of the feeling of the paper, like screen protectors. So, sorry, move that over here. So in here, I take my notes in OneNote, and I love OneNote because I can sync my notes across all my devices. So I always have them. I can get them on my phone, computer, every operating system, right out of a web browser. So to me, there's a lot of advantage to taking notes in something like OneNote versus in something like Kindle, where it may be a little more limited where I can get my notes. In terms of feel, feels great. I mean, especially with this. I mean, it feels great with the default stock nibs, but again, if you like that kind of matte surface with this titanium, it feels really good. You don't get that kind of clicky glass tappiness that you get on on iPads. If you've ever taken notes on with the Apple Pencil on an iPad, you'll notice it's like super clicky. When you're tapping on the screen. And another thing that's really nice about the Samsung tablets is the way they bond the glass and the screen. There's no gap. So when you put your pen down, it is exactly where it just looks like it's touching paper. You don't notice any on the iPad. You'll notice it's like a gap between where the tip of the pen is and where the digital ink is flowing. You do not get that here. I mean, it's like you are right on it. I really, really like this Samsung uh, S Pen. You do not get the eraser function like you do on the Kindle, but that's okay. You just hold down this little button here, and instead of erasing sections, which I think you can in some note-taking apps, but in OneNote, it erases the entire line, which makes it very fast to erase. So if you want to erase, a section real quick, I mean, you can just whip through uh, a section super fast. So that's one bit. The other bit is the Kindle functionality. So in my library here, first off, I'm able to download all my books. So I wish I could remember which ones gave me trouble, but there's a couple of my books that I've purchased that I cannot download on a Kindle device, but I can download them on the Kindle app. Works just fine in here. Uh, and the functionality, first off, you get color, which is really nice. Um, and for books that have a lot of imagery in them, which I think those are the ones that have trouble on the Kindle devices, they work great on here. So it's really easy to, you still have access to your full Kindle library, and in fact, you have access to more than you would on an actual Kindle device, which is interesting. And you have access to all your other apps as well, which is super cool. Because I have this reader, because I have a bunch of um, retro game magazines and such. So I keep those on here as well. And I've got, oops, I did not mean to do. I've got these collections, so for all my different magazines, like retro magazines and like different magazines that I've purchased over time, and I have PDF versions of them. I have them on here, or some like the really old ones that I just downloaded, like these old Zap magazines and Compute magazines and things like that. Because I love the old like Compute Gazette. If you were old like me and you like the Commodore computers, this is great for that. Um, but yeah, it works. I mean, works really great as a reader. Of course, you can get YouTube, all the other normal apps and games and all that kind of stuff that you get with a tablet. And this device, the tablet, the case, the pen, the screen protector, and the titanium replacement nib were cheaper than just the Kindle 64 gig Paperwhite with no, case or anything like that. Um, so yeah, there you go. So my thoughts, the Kindle is actually being returned. I'm not going to keep it, and I've decided to go with this Galaxy Tab instead. So anyway, that's my thoughts, and hope that helps someone that has the same dilemma. Have a good one. Bye.